Hey, what's up guys, I'm Dave Klein of DaveControl. I make comedy gaming retrospectives and apparently Julian fries according to the editor of Hot Pepper Gaming. But what I'm most known for is Dark Souls, and therefore I'm going to be reviewing Dark Souls 3. But first, I'm going to eat a dried ghost pepper because, God help me. Okay. It's hard to swallow it. Okay then, let's get started. So, this game feels like a true sequel to Dark Souls 1. So for a lot of you who are mad about Dark Souls 2 and you're like, man, it's like the Witch of Islay just invented pyromancy in my mouth. Holy shit. Okay, this game feels like a true sequel to Dark Souls 1, as I was saying before. Unlike Dark Souls 2, which a lot of people were mad about. Miyazaki is back, and man can you tell. He's the director of Demon Souls, the first Souls game, Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne, and he brings this amazing level design back for Dark Souls 3. It is so good and so hard to talk right now. It's like the flakes just get in your throat, and it makes you not be able to talk. So, level design is fantastic. It's really well done. It's like a giant treasure hunt. You're like, man, there's all these treasures I can find and pick up and go get, like Charred Fire Ring from Dark Souls 1. If only I could find that, because it feels like the centipede demon's in my mouth right now. Holy shit. Okay, so, other than that, there's a large variety of bosses in the game. Speaking of centipede demon, Dark Souls 3 has giant, amazing variety of bosses. They're all really good. It's not just dudes in armor this time like Dark Souls 2. It's a giant, massive variety of enemies. It's really fun to play, because it's like different every boss that you fight. On top of that, it does take some of the pros from Dark Souls 2, like all the giant variety of weapons, armor that you can collect, and things like that. It's a giant collectathon. There's so many things you can get in different ways you can play the game. For those of you who aren't in PvP, there's actually Covenants again, unlike Bloodborne, which didn't really have that, so that's great. And then, man, there's one other really positive thing I want to talk about. Oh, the lore! The lore is also good. It connects back to Dark Souls 1, and you're like, wow, there's some amazing revelations in this game. I can't believe I'm finding this stuff out. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but you definitely want to check that out if you're into the lore of the game. And there's also a lot of giant, cool, hidden secret areas in the game. So, I don't, like, just areas that you're like, how the hell does somebody find this in the first place? And then there's a giant, massive area. This actually goes back to secrets in video games, like old school classic games, which is great. I did have a couple cons with the game, though. One is that it goes back to a hub system like Demon Souls, more like Bloodborne though, and I feel like that's kind of a step backwards from Dark Souls 1, which had like this really damn good interconnected Metroidvania level design, and the game's fairly linear compared to like Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls, well, just 1 mainly. 2 has some good non-linear design too. This one's a little more linear, which is kind of sad, but other than that, the game is fantastic, and I would have to rate it a 5 out of 5 hot peppers because damn, it's a good game. Incredible sequel. Feels like what Dark Souls 2 should have been. And I rate the hot pepper and orange charred ring out of... Actually, it doesn't protect you from lava. F that. I rated a you're gonna die in lava fiery death out of 5 hot peppers. Thank you so much for having me on. And if you like me, if you like Souls content, you should check out some of my content. I make a lot of Souls content, lore, comedy, stuff like that, or this like Bloodborne Super Show. Also, if you like watching people suffer, because of course you do since you're watching this, check out Hot Pepper Gaming. There's a lot of other fun people on you should really check out. Thanks.